In this lesson, we're going to look at how to use the addition rules to simplify algebraic expressions. And all I mean by algebraic expressions is that instead of just adding plain constant numbers like we did in the last lesson, we'll be adding terms that contain variables. And since they contain variables, our answers will also contain variables. So these use the same two rules that we already know. And let's get started. Let's add negative 11x plus 7x. So first of all, we know from the combining like terms lesson that we can combine these two terms because they both contain the same variable. And all we have to do is add negative 11 plus 7. The difference between 11 and 7 is 4, and the answer will be a negative because the larger number is negative. So negative 4 is our new coefficient, and it is an x term. Okay, new example. 7y plus negative 12z plus negative 9y plus 15z. So in this case I have two different kinds of terms. I have y's and z's. So if I just concentrate on the y terms for a minute and ignore the z terms completely, I have a 7y and a negative 9y. So the difference between 7 and 9 is 2. And the larger number is negative, so it will be a negative 2, and these are y terms. Now look at the z terms. I have a negative 12z and a plus 15z. So the difference between 12 and 15 is 3. The larger number is positive. So that's going to be plus 3z. All right, one more example. I've got 3 times 7x plus 8 plus negative 25x. Now before you can start combining your like terms, you have to get rid of anything that needs to be multiplied in. So let's multiply this 3 into this parentheses. I'll need to multiply 3 times both terms. 3 times 7x is going to be 3 times 7 times x. That's going to make 21x. Then I've got to do 3 times 8. So that's going to be plus 24. Then I've got my plus negative 25x. Now that my distribution is done, I'm ready to start combining the like terms. And I've got 21x plus negative 25x. The difference between 21 and 25 is 4, and the larger number has a negative, so it'll be negative 4x. And then we've still got this plus 24. Now, since this is a non-variable term, what we call a constant term, and this is a variable term, we cannot combine these. And so our answer has two terms, and there's nothing wrong with that. So whenever your problem contains variables and all you're doing is simplifying, your answer will still contain variables. There's no way to figure out what x equals or to get rid of the x here. And so we're going to look at a few more examples together. Here we go. Negative 20x plus 3x. Now, these are both x terms, so when we combine them, since the signs are different, we'll subtract and use the sign of the larger number. And so we'll have negative 17x. Alright, here's another one. Again, I have y terms and z terms. We do them separately. I have positive 3 and negative 10. So together they are going to make negative 7, and those are y terms. Here I have negative 10z and positive 16z. Those are also different signs, so I'm going to subtract 10 from 16 and get 6. And the 16 is larger and it's positive, so it's going to be plus 6z. Now let's look at this one. 5 times this parentheses, 2x plus 3, plus negative 30x. So before you can combine terms, remember you have to do any distributing that's present. So let's distribute this 5. 5 times 2x is 10x. 5 times 3 is 15. And we still have our plus negative 30x. And now we're able to combine any like terms. So I have 10x and negative 30x. Together they make negative 20x because the signs are different, so we'll subtract, use the sign of the larger number, which is a negative. So negative 20x plus 15. And that's all we have there. That's all we can do because these two terms are not alike.